And Fry assured them, look, I don't know anything about defying the Germans or spying or anything, but he felt when he saw these artists, the names, he'd studied them, he felt that he had to save them, and he couldn't believe the names. So he volunteered, and in August he was off to Marseille.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and now these Jews that were there in France, they were actually in Vichy,
France,
yes.
And that was the southern part of France. This was known as a free zone at the time, the beginning of 1940. And all the Eastern Jews who managed to escape came to this part of France,
right.
And they hoped to somehow get passage out to Portugal or any place because of the port in Marseille. Mm-hmm. However, soon there was an edict, and the Vichy government cooperated with the Germans, and the edict was surrender on demand.
Yes.
So this
the French would have to give up the Jews.
Yes, anybody that was suspicious. Now, what they needed exit papers to get out. They may have had passports, but a lot of these people had no passports, nothing. Now imagine yourself, you have no money, you don't have an idea how to get an exit paper, and you don't have a passport. And it was a terrible situation when Fry got there. He landed and he went to the American consulate, where he too stood in line, and they were not giving visas. They were very unhelpful. So immediately he found a hotel, the Hotel Splendide, and opened an office. And miraculously he found 11 people who helped him in this office. One of them had done comics, and he was able to forge passports. Another one was an artist, and also he found 2 people who could be guides to guide the people across the Pyrenees, because it was Fry's idea that he could get them out by ship. But the Mediterranean was patrolled by the Germans and Italians, so they had to get them out.
They had to hike actually over the mountain range.
Yes. Now, the younger people could get through the mountains in a day, but most it would be 2, and the older people would be a less severe climb.
Yes,
it would be 4 and 5 days without food or water. And it was the way they did this.
Most of them survived, though, over the period.
A lot of them did, and he was able to get even British air pilots. He was able to get out, which really put him in trouble with our government. But the British government offered $10,000 because they had heard about Fry, and he needed that money to continue giving to the people who came at least 100 a day to his little office at the hotel, to give them money for food, just to survive.
Right.
So he desperately needed that money.
Wow, that's an incredible story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, they only wanted to give him 3 weeks, but he wound up staying, how long was it?
13 months.
Wow.
And getting back to getting across the mountains, the way he did it, he knew when the French were taking their break, and he dressed the people as if they were grape pickers, and that's how he did that.
Like vineyard workers.
Vineyard workers, yes.
Yeah. Wow, and he saved Marc Chagall and Max Ernst. What an incredible story. How come we haven't heard of this before? Now, he was a teacher in Richfield High School, the Greenwich Academy, Joel Barlow in school.
Very briefly, Joel.
In Reading. I mean, he's our neighbor.
Yes, he lived among us. He moved to Richfield in 1956. He was raised in Ridgewood, New Jersey, where they do honor him.
I see, yes.
Catherine Taub there has been dynamite for, she even has a scholarship at the high school, the Varian Fry Scholarship, where 50 students a year apply for that scholarship.
Wow.
They name streets after him. They have a monument in the library.
In Ridgewood, New Jersey.
In Ridgewood, New Jersey, and they have done tremendous things. It is the only town in this country who has honored him. Now, while he was alive...
He's honored in France.
he was given, while he was alive, the highest award, the Legion of Honor, by the government of France, by de Gaulle. And unfortunately, after Varian Fry, he was acknowledged by Yad Vashem as being the first American. There are only 3 to be among the righteous of the nations. And Varian Fry was
one of them.
First.
Wow.
Yes.
And also there's a Jeanette Berman, and she's one of the survivors, one of the people that he had saved.
Who lives,
and she still lives.
We have a picture of her.
Yeah, let's have a
well,
look at
that's the last picture. Should we
Number
show,
5. Let's have a look at
should we show Warren Christopher first?
You want to do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so picture number 2 we're calling for. And this is a picture of course, Secretary of State Warren Christopher during the Clinton administration.
Yes.
And what's significant about this is that finally he makes an acknowledgement that our State Department really didn't do right by him.
Exactly. Our State Department asked for Fry to come home after 3 weeks. Varian Fry stayed 13 months at huge risk to he and all the people in the office. And when he came back, he was person non grata in the office. He wasn't the hero that he was.
Right.
And Roosevelt, in fact, said if Varian Fry's still in the office when he got back to New York, he wouldn't issue any more visas. The reason for that, they didn't want any more refugees being rescued, and especially Jews. And Varian Fry could not leave kids, babies, people that were not famous, not just artists, but he felt he had to stay there. And they had to move several times while he was there. They eventually ended up on an old estate, and with very little food. They were eating snails out of the pond. And so Fry stayed on. Actually, he was thrown out because his passport expired. And when he got to Spain, he was put in jail, but they got him out very quickly to make sure he got back to the States.
Yes, yes. Now, let's talk about the exhibit that they had recently at the Ramapo College. That would be picture number 3 we're looking for. That's in New Jersey, the Ramapo College.
Ramapo.
Ramapo, okay. And that's an exhibit that has been discontinued. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. My friends and I are a small little committee trying to honor Varian Fry in this state where he lived, educated, died. Varian Fry, this exhibit is from the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. And we have tried with great regret to get this exhibit. It's a traveling exhibit to Connecticut. They are showing it for the last time at Ramapo College. It's the final showing of it, and it's unfortunate. And this picture was taken at the exhibit, and we also have a picture of Jeanette Berman and myself. She's in her 90s and a survivor.
Okay, so we're calling for picture number 5 at this point. Jeanette Berman, and she's, like you said, living right over here in
No, she's in Ridgewood, New Jersey.
Ridgewood, New Jersey,
and,
okay.
She and her mother were saved by Varian Fry. We did have a survivor from Ridgefield talk at the Newtown Library. In June, we had over 100 people. We had to turn them away. So much interest in Varian Fry.
That's because they didn't have any exit visas.
Right. And it was one of Hadassah's largest turnouts for any event.
Yes, fabulous.
And I still get calls about this speech in June, and it was very successful.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So you've really become a champion for Varian Fry, and you'd like to accomplish what exactly? I know we've said it a couple of times, but it's important to understand we're not just here to have please ourselves to talk about Varian Fry today. We would like this to be heard by people around the state.
Yes.
That he should be
honored. I mean, everybody knows the name of Oskar Schindler. However, Barbra Streisand did produce a movie called Varian's War about Varian Fry.
Right.
We want to have a monument, scholarships for Varian Fry. I mean, after all, he's an American, and nobody seems to know his name. I just found out today that there is a room at the Ridgefield High School called the Varian Fry Room.